Off the coast of Yiti, surrounded by the warm green waters of the Jade Sea, lies Leng. The island is said to be the home to 10,000 tigers, 10 million monkeys, and giant humpback apes as clever as a man. It is full of ancient ruined cities overtaken by the jungle, with vast webs of stone tunnels beneath. They remain the only remnants of some vanished civilization. Leng is as old as Yiti, but far less is known about its past. The present inhabitants of the island are a mix of native Leng and the descendants of Yiti invaders, who have the same language, gods, food, and customs as their mainland brethren, and even worship their own god empress. The native Lengi, who reside in the southern third of the island, are perhaps the tallest human race ever known, growing up to 8 feet. They are described as slender, golden-eyed, keen-sighted, and beautiful, with skin the color of oiled teak. Their land is very mysterious, as natives have never sailed far from shore and are unwelcoming to visitors. Those who have attempted to harvest the island's resources have met with a foul end. So I guess, is this the Japan equivalent of
that was the closest
the
thing I
world?
came with. Or the Pennsylvania Dutch, who just leave them alone. They're not causing trouble, but you're not gonna take their nice chairs that they make or anything.
I guess I would ask you if is that really what Japan was to Asia? I would actually argue that Japan was much more the aggressor, and Japan kind of fucking ran the show for a long time.
Oh, it depends on what time period you're talking about.
Because there was 100 years where they closed their borders and they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So to me, I thought of Leng as it's a beautiful amalgamation of what Japan may or may not have been historically, of what Taiwan and Taipei may or may not have been historically, and what South Asia may or may not have been in relation to China historically. You know what I mean? So one thing that I thought of right away was in Taiwan, the southern third of Taiwan is the original Taiwanese, and the northern 2/3 of Taiwan is basically China, and that's where a lot of the Chinese immigrants who are now obviously considered Taiwanese reside. So there's a unique ethnic difference between those who lived in Taiwan pre-1957 or whatever the year was when all the Chinese people moved to the island, and the sort of the Taiwanese people who are of Chinese descent who live there now. So that made me think of the fact that that the northern 2/3 of Leng is very ET-ish, but the southern third is very unique.
I'd like to see these tall ass women. They sound very nice. 9 feet tall. That's just crazy. That's like the Avatar. What are the Avatar people called?
Oh,
the
Na'vi. Yeah, the Na'vi.
Except not blue.
And it was, you can see George really playing with, these various upside down rules of traditional patriarchal society, where you have these queens who take 2 husbands, one ET-ish and one Leng-ish, which is very sort of the opposite of what you would find in more of a patriarchal society. So you can see him playing. I don't know obviously if where these elements come from. It could just be just his imagination, but I think it also demonstrates his ability to start playing with the norms of society as you get further and further away from where the main story takes place.
Probably helped by a magical influence coming from beneath Leng. There's something freaky deaky down there.
It's sort of like there's a similarity between that and the Moon Singers, how the Moon Singers have this very prominent prophetic sort of place within their society. The Lengi Empress has this powerful place in her society because she can allegedly commune with the Old Ones, which are like these apparent gods that live in the ancient subterranean city underneath Leng, who apparently from time to time order the mass sacrifice of outsiders. And it was only after the island was conquered by a Yiti emperor that the ancient tunnels were sealed up and the massacres stopped. And it was said that the warriors who went down into the ruins returned mad or not at all. So yeah, the Old Ones.
So
crazy.
Evocative. I don't want to live at Leng.
No, it's creepy. It's
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the first thing I thought of was this is the Eastern version of the Undying Ones, or I guess the far Eastern version of the Undying Ones. Who the fuck knows what these Old Ones are? Are they ghosts? Are they like, kind of like a different race of peoples, or what? Are they gods?
I just love the idea of like a dying, crippled god who just can't do anything, but he can just sort of issue orders and get like, it's just like he's on his last legs and he's been sealed up beneath the earth, but he still has like some power and he's clinging on to life, clinging on to reality, and can connect to the current like inhabitants of the world.
Yeah, for now is the age of man, but they're still just having fun influencing it in their last years of life.
They're just like bitterly, sort of scornfully trying to mess things up before they die.
It'd be really interesting to see some of the nuances of the relations between some of these other islands, like the Mara High Island or the Manticore Isles or the Isle of Whips, the Isle of Elephants, which to me is kind of like the Pacific Ocean and all the different island kingdoms that exist, and their relation with mainland Asia. It'd be interesting to see, like, if the story actually does get much more in depth, but we're just so far away that we don't know about it. But I wonder if there's even more to it.
Yeah, as Greg mentioned, there is this author named H.P. Lovecraft who Martin seems to have taken a lot of inspiration from, and the old ones and the deep ones are these ancient aliens that appear in his work. And the old ones are described as being 8 feet tall, vegetable shaped with 5 eyes, 5 tentacles, 5 eating tubes, fan-like wings. So it does seem to be like a nod to that kind of pre-human creatures that are still somehow around. And
Well, and Leng
alien ancient astronauts.
Yeah, Leng is also mentioned in the Plains of Leng is like an actual location in the Cthulhu mythos. It's in. I mean, it's in
really?
in Lovecraft's world. It's like in Asia somewhere. Like they reference like these at this fictional college. Like that's like a place where they go to, but it's not like actual. It's on Earth, but it's not real. But Leng is. So I assume anything. All at Leng is most of the Lovecraftian stuff that we're going to get. That's the subterranean gods, and the half of Lovecraft stories are about some guy going into a tomb or crawling down somewhere, going mad and killing people, or coming back crazy. So it makes sense that it's all going.
Was there
down.
a Leng in the first season of True Detective or no?
No.
It mentions Carcosa. I know that.
Isn't Leng also like this in the Lovecraft stories? Isn't it like a portal to another dimension and some things like that? And
I just have to point out that Amber is making fun of your pronunciation of H.P. Lovecraft, Duncan.
Oh, right. H.P. Lovecraft.
Wait, how do you Americans say it?
H.
Who knows?
So uncouth.
H. So what do you guys think is happening in Carcosa?
I don't know. Just every time I look to like that corner of the map, like I just get this weird feeling. It's just because like the colors are different.
Gloomy,
But there's something going on there, and I just want to know like that mountain, whatever, like where the stream comes out of, where like light only hits it at 1 minute every day. Like something's going on there, and it messes with my head. But I don't really want to know because it's not going to be as interesting as is in my head.